We're going down the positive, empowered road. And who else to help us to be positively empowered is a man who was rewilding before it was trendy. A man who has traveled the world and thinks nothing of popping over to here, there, or everywhere, and was recently caught in India and couldn't get home. A man who loves to look after a cause and solve problems and find ways of making a difference himself. So I'm now going to hand over to Nigel Hughes to talk to us about being caught in conflict.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Here I am, taking another deep breath and being present with you. What I wanted to talk about today was Cheetah Caught in Conflict. Now, my husband has written this book. I produced it, and we have publishers called Softwood Books, and it's just literally been released a week ago. And it's a story about the conflict between humans and nature. And it's based on our own true experience traveling in Iran. Now, of course, Iran has hit the headlines in rather a dramatic way. So I think you probably all might know now where Iran is. And whatever your thoughts about Iran and its people, it has the most spectacular landscape. It has the most open-hearted, generous people that live there. And the people that my husband and I encountered when we first went in 2013 literally opened their hearts and their homes to us. And we heard about the plight of the Persian leopard. So we went on a patrol taken by 3 fabulous guides up in the mountains to trace the tracks of the Persian leopard. We smelt its poo. We almost stepped on its poo, and there were footprints in the snow. We didn't actually see a leopard, but we were invited to come back, which of course we were very keen to do, to look at even more spectacular creature, the Asiatic cheetah. Now, the Asiatic cheetah is one of the most critically endangered creatures and most magnificent creatures in the world. There are fewer than 50 left. And of course, they live in this open terrain, so it's very difficult for them to find each other, to mate, to get food. The people who were looking after them, the Persian Wildlife Heritage Fund, were banned by the Iranian government, and they were thrown in prison, some of them up to 6.5 years, because they used tracking devices and they were able to spot the Asiatic cheetah in its tracking. But they were imprisoned because they were considered to be spies. 250 senior scientists globally helped their release, and 2.5 years ago, after 6.5 years in prison, they were all pardoned and released as part of Eid. And what we've been doing is that we've been working on a film based on our experiences, working with those people, and also really helping the wider community to understand, how can we in this day and age, when there is so much conflict in the world, so many crazy people doing crazy things to each other, how can we think about a creature? But we have to, because as we know, it's the invisibles that suffer more than anything. So if you're interested, Cheetah Caught in Conflict, you can get it on Amazon, you can get it through Waterstones, you can get it through regular bookshops, even Hive. And what you'll be doing when you buy a book is that you're helping us help the people who are still working to assist these magnificent creatures survive. This is a very personal story. And again, in the past, one or two of you might know that I've helped the HIV/AIDS community in, the big pandemic in the mid-80s, the AIDS pandemic. I've also helped to conserve 2,000 square miles of virgin rainforest in Papua New Guinea. And more importantly, even in our own communities here in the UK, we've helped to create 62 community woodlands. And they're all owned and managed by local communities. So people who have nature in their hearts. So I do have a strong track record of not just thinking about something, but if something touches my heart, I do everything I can to help the cause. And if you have a look online and have a look at the book, it would really help us if you found a way to buy the book. That would be terrific. 50% of Rick's royalties he's generously donating to the Asiatic cheetah cause. So we're not in this for the money. We have to cover our costs, of course. And you'll see from the cover, it's rather a magnificent design by our Iranian Kurdish artist called Sama Sultani. And inside the book, there are 6 very special illustrations depicting the interaction and the plight. But it's the heart and soul of the story that actually is the biggest element. Because we trace not only the track of the endangered, critically endangered Asiatic cheetah, but it's about how we can really serve humanity at a bigger level. Sometimes we just think about our own condition. Sometimes we can deal with what's in front of us. Sometimes it's hard for us to imagine how other cultures, and the Persian culture, as you all know, is an ancient culture. We have a lot to learn. So here I am, and I think really the thing about the book is that it really tells that important story. Isn't our core being about loving and being loved? Yes. Somebody made a note. Absolutely. This is a heartfelt cry and comes from my heart, from my husband's heart, from the Persians that we know. Funnily enough, this journey, to our surprise, started in 1976, even though we didn't know. We arrived in this small Suffolk village. I just happened to be starring as Joseph in his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at the Mercury Theatre in Colchester. But we found a place which we fell in love with, and we've been here ever since. As Gill said, we've been rewilding this place ever since 1976. We've maximized biodiversity. We encourage people in our community to come and witness what we've done, to learn, to seek to understand. And it was actually the dentist that we went to. One of his daughters married a Persian man. And it was through her that we were actually invited, first of all, to Persia. And she took us for 3 weeks. And she held us literally by the hand. And she said, this is the way that you need to conduct yourself in this Persian society. And then she left us, and we spent another month there. So we really got a personal introduction to this fantastic world. And we got as close as you can get to the Asiatic cheetah. We're also supported by the London Zoological Society and the Cheetah Conservation Fund. So we're really digging in there, doing whatever we can do. And as Dr. Sarah Durant says, an animal is not extinct until it is extinct. At the moment, there are some thriving. So, any thoughts, any questions?